The battlefield stretched across the crimson plains of Zirion 7, where human forces had been fighting the Zilithian Empire for 3 brutal months. Sergeant Knox Richardson crouched behind a crumbling barrier, his plasma rifle hot in his hands, when the world suddenly went silent. Not the silence of peace, the silence of impossibility. Every weapon stopped firing. Every soldier froze mid-motion, as if someone had pressed pause on reality itself. Knox tried to move, but found his body locked in place, his finger still on the trigger, his heart hammering against his ribs. Then she appeared. The Zilithian queen materialized in the center of no man's land, her 7-foot frame draped in living armor that shimmered like oil on water. Her eyes, 3 of them, arranged in a triangle on her angular face, glowed with an ethereal purple light. This was Alexa, though Knox didn't know her name yet. He only knew her reputation, the cosmic conqueror, the being who had brought 1,000 worlds to their knees. Human. Her voice resonated directly in Knox's mind, bypassing his ears entirely. You will answer my question. Knox felt the invisible grip on his body release. He stumbled forward, nearly dropping his rifle. Around him, the frozen battlefield remained suspended in time. Bullets hung in midair. Explosions were captured mid-bloom. His comrades stood like statues. What the hell is this? Knox managed, his voice rough. Alexa tilted her head, studying him with an intensity that made him feel like a specimen under glass. I have conquered 1,247 civilizations. I have studied your species for 6 of your years. And yet, there is one thing I cannot comprehend through observation alone. Knox's grip tightened on his rifle, though he knew it would be useless. What? Romance. The word sounded strange coming from her, almost clinical. Your species engages in this behavior even during war. Especially during war. I have intercepted your communications, love letters written hours before battles, proposals made in foxholes, couples who refuse to evacuate war zones because they will not be separated. Her 3 eyes narrowed. It is inefficient. It is illogical. Explain it to me. Knox stared at her, his mind racing. Of all the things an alien queen might ask him, battle strategies, human weaknesses, surrender terms, she wanted to know about love. In the middle of a war zone? He laughed. It burst out of him before he could stop it, echoing across the silent battlefield. You're serious? I do not possess humor, Alexa replied flatly. Answer, or I will resume the battle and ensure your forces lose within the hour. Knox's laughter died. He looked around at his frozen comrades. Jenkins, who had a daughter waiting for him back on Earth. Martinez, who'd just gotten engaged via holocall last week. Commander Reeves, who wore his dead wife's ring on a chain around his neck. All right, Knox said, lowering his rifle. You want to understand romance in a war zone? Then you need to understand something first. Romance isn't about efficiency. It's about defiance. Alexa's head tilted further, an almost avian motion. Explain. Knox took a breath. When you're facing death every single day, when the universe is trying to crush you, when tomorrow isn't guaranteed, that's when love matters most. It's not inefficient. It's the most efficient thing there is, because it's the only thing that makes any of this worth fighting for. He thought of Sarah, his girlfriend back on the colony ship. Her last message played in his mind every night before he slept. Come back to me, Knox. Come back, and we'll build something beautiful. You see it as weakness, Knox continued, his voice gaining strength. We see it as armor. You think love makes us vulnerable. You're wrong. It makes us dangerous. A soldier who's just following orders might retreat, but a soldier fighting to get back to the person they love, that soldier will walk through hell itself and won't stop until they're through. Alexa's armor rippled, colors shifting from black to deep violet. But you will die. Statistics show that 73% of your forces will not survive this campaign. Your romance does not change this outcome. Maybe not, Knox admitted. But here's what you're missing, Your Majesty. You've conquered 1,247 worlds. You've probably killed trillions. And when you're gone, when your empire finally falls, because they all fall eventually, what will you leave behind? What will anyone remember? He gestured toward his frozen comrades. These people, they'll leave behind love letters that their grandchildren will read. They'll leave behind stories of how they proposed under fire, how they chose connection over fear, how they loved so fiercely that even death couldn't diminish it. That's immortality, real immortality, not conquest love. For a long moment, Alexa said nothing. The purple glow of her eyes intensified, then dimmed, then intensified again, as if she were processing something beyond her understanding. "I have never loved," she said finally, and for the first time, her mental voice carried something that might have been emotion. "I was created for conquest, engineered for supremacy. Love was removed from my genetic code as inefficient." Nox felt something unexpected, pity. "Then you're not conquering us, Your Majesty. We've already conquered you, because we have something you can never take from us, something you'll never understand. We're richer than you could ever be." Alexa's form began to shimmer. "You have given me much to consider, human Knox Richardson." She'd plucked his name from his mind. "Your answer is unexpected, problematic. It suggests variables I have not accounted for in my conquest calculations." The frozen world began to thaw. Bullets started moving again. Explosions resumed their deadly bloom. "Will you stop the war?" Knox shouted over the returning chaos. Alexa's voice echoed one final time in his mind. "No. But I will remember what you said when I choose whether to annihilate your species, or simply conquer it. Perhaps there is value in preserving something I cannot comprehend. Farewell, Knox Richardson. Die well, or love well, or somehow do both." Then she was gone. The battle resumed in full force. But Knox stood there for one moment longer, thinking about Sarah, about love in foxholes, about an alien queen who'd never know what it meant to choose someone else's happiness over her own survival. He raised his rifle and charged back into the fight, not because he had to, but because on the other side of this war, Sarah was waiting, and that made all the difference.